All right, I'm back. It's what is it? It is 11:47 a.m. Saturday. I am caffeine ejected. I got my blackjack bubblegum. I've got my bottled baby Coca-Colas right next to me here. Time to play some Final Fantasy XIV. I am level 44, and we're starting to get close. I think to the first expansion content. I hope so. I did a new glamour here. I really liked this. This chess piece is really cool. I don't know if this is the one that Armet gave me. I think it might be, but it's actually called. Well, it's called like the survival vest or something similar to that. I don't know how you can look alt key. I don't know if there's a way that you can look at the glamour details, like information. It doesn't say like here, and it won't let me look at the glamour plate for some reason. So that's probably something I'm not, I don't know how to do it yet. I'm still learning the game. I mean, every day I log in, I learn a bunch of things that I didn't know from the day before. So, draw shoot weapon, toggle character sleep, set display. But yeah, it's some sort of a survival shirt. And what's really cool about it is it gives you these leather. It gives you this little roll here, and it gives you these leather pouches. It also gives you this other pouch, I think, and these really cool. It even gives us a really cool dagger on my right hip here. So, and I think this is all based on the shirt. Now, let's see if we can confirm that by taking this off. And you can see everything disappear. The knife, all the cool details are all a part of that shirt. Now, I hope that I've saved this Paladin. So we're gonna resign here. All right, cool. This beautiful area of the Black Shroud, I guess. Yeah, so I'm in not too far from He Who Waited Behind. I don't really remember the exact quest I'm on right now. Let's take a look. So the final fight of the Enterprise appears. The final flight of the Enterprise. So we're trying to find this airship that this guy has. Apparently, we need this airship. The final flight of the Enterprise appears to be a well-known moment in Gridanian history. Now, the ship seems to have disappeared right before the calamity or right after the calamity. As Aethelmar had no trouble recounting the event, he bids you to speak with Vortifart at Florental's Spire. A sentry saw the airship with his own eyes that day 5 years ago. So we're trying to find this airship. After the horrible wipeout where they killed all the people in the that group of people that I'm aligned with. I can't remember what they're called, the Scions or something. They came in the Empire. I always think of like Star Wars, like the Empire, but I don't think they're called the Empire. Maybe they are. I don't know. I'm trying to remember all the names in this game, and I have such a bad memory anyway. It's difficult for me to remember all of the stuff. But there's a fate here, but I don't see it. So. But anyways, the evil empire, or whatever they're called, they came in and they wiped out everybody at that place. And so I actually went to this priest and helped part of the burial and stuff and bury the bodies and all that. And that was part of the last quest I was doing. You come in search of World of Warcraft, then we will well met. You have found indeed. We have served as a whaler for many years since before the great snows came to Carathis. Exactly, this is about the final flight of the Enterprise. I do remember that day. He remembers that day. It's complete. Oh, I leveled up. Oh man, I'm now level 45. It was on the eve of the Battle of Cartanu. Nigh on 5 years ago, I held the spire alone that night while the bulk of our forces marched to meet the enemy on the field, and all of a sudden, most fantastic airship I'd ever seen split the sky red. I could only watch in shock as it disappeared over the mountains to the northwest. If the Enterprise wasn't destroyed during the calamity, I'd wager it's still somewhere in Carathis. The astrologians at the observatorium may have records which could help, but to obtain them you would need to deal with the guardians who control the region. I wouldn't expect much, though. The high houses have long been concerned with their own affairs above all else. When Dalamud descended, they took shelter behind their gates, and even now they have little regard for the plights of other nations. Nevertheless, they may deign to assist you should you prove yourself useful. Consider providing your services to soldiers who guard the observatorium. Then they may refuse you at first. I will doubt they would accept aid freely offered. Okay, start off the day with reading a bunch of stuff as usual. Okay, we're not attuned here, but we're not attuned here either? Wow. The best way to get there is just to ride there, I think. Ooh. Wow, this is the first snow region I've seen. I love snow. I love snow regions in video games. I absolutely love them. Where am I at? Oh, actually, I'm not that far from where I need to go. Oh, I absolutely love this. This is so cool. What is this? This is one of those guys. It's a Highland gooby. Ooh. Look at this snow wolf. So creepy. Those are so scary, creepy looking, man. Go ahead and eat some food. So we have our food buff. Can you repeat that? You wish to offer services to the House of Durandare? What, pray tell, do you wish to receive in exchange? How absurd, as if we would permit an outsider to peruse the records of the observatory. Do not mistake our courtesy for friendliness. The holy see of Ishgard may allow foreigners to travel freely within these lands, but we do not intend to offer succor to strangers. Holy crap. What the hell? What the heck? I think I have to get that just because it's so crazy looking. Ser Ludovoy is doing his utmost to intimidate you into leaving. Alone have mercy. Are you still here? You may take shelter within our walls if you insist, but do not distract me while I'm on duty. We're stretched thin as it is. Where in the hell is that knight I sent out on patrol? He should have returned ages ago. Perhaps I have a use for you after all. If you still wish to aid us, search the wilds to the west for my missing man. You will know him by his uniform. That of House Durandare, as is mine. Right. Let's do it. Hmm. 7, but this is... What slots does this take? Is it like... Yeah, see, it takes the place of my helm, too. That's one thing I don't like in this game, how they have pieces that take up 2 slots. I don't like that. You know, I really don't. I'm not sure why they did that. It seems almost like they just wanted to say, oh, this chest piece and this helm are kind of, they go together. But, well, that's fine. They go together. I get it. We'll make them separate pieces. This is a helm. This is the chest piece. So, yeah, I'm not a fan of that decision. I think it's really odd. Now you have nothing in the head slot. And you can't put it in the head slot because this takes up the head and the chest. But does it say that anywhere on here that it does that? I'm guessing, hopefully it does. It says cannot equip gear to head. See, it says that right there. Cannot equip gear to head under item level. But yeah, so I'm not a fan of that. Don't really understand why they did that. Seems an odd choice to me. This bitch stunned me. You too can play that game. If it wasn't for you, Miss, I'd reckon they would have finished me off. Despicable dragon-loving bastards. Spit. Death was a mercy they didn't deserve. I prayed the rumors were mistaken, but this confirms the worst. I must immediately inform my superiors that the heretics are opening within this region. Fare thee well, friend. Let's say I didn't actually expect you to find my knight, much less rescue him. See, I may have been premature in my judgment, Miss. We are proud people holding to tradition, but that does not mean we are without humility. I shall instruct the astrologians to entertain your request. However, understand that it is ultimately their decision whether or not you peruse their records. Pray proceed to the observatory and introduce yourself. Ah, the lady come in search of the airship. This is highly unorthodox. Whatever could Sir Ludovoy be thinking? It is true that we maintain meticulous records which stretch back generations. However, because this information is used to chart Travanian activity, access is strictly controlled. One can never be too careful with heretics and sympathizers like you. You persist with your inquiries. Pray seek an audience with the chief astrologian Forlamort. They are climbing up pretty high. Mm-hmm. Whoa, I gotta see what's up here. Whoa. There's actually someone in this. That's what this is for. Get up into this chair. Telescope. No, absolutely not. Have you any inkling what it is you ask? Were our records to fall into the wrong hands, it could change the course of the war, which has raged generations. I speak not from some mere spat between southern nations. Ours is a holy crusade, and we are the arbiters of Halan's will. Will not put our great nation at risk. Certainly not to help Foreigner locate a missing airship of all things. Pardon the intrusion, Formula. Wish to speak with you regarding the recent. Oh, I did not realize you had a guest. Inquisitor Gilliam, you honor us with your presence. The lady was just leaving. Ah, you must be the one who rescued House Durandare's knight from those heretics. Doubtless they feel indebted to you. I'm told you seek an airship last seen at Coerthus 5 years ago. You've come to us at an inconvenient time, I fear. Much has changed in intervening years, a little for the better. While I wish you the best of luck in your search, I would ask, but also strongly advise caution. The snows can come quickly in Coerthus. One moment you may feel as though you have a firm grasp on your surroundings, safe and secure in your knowledge. The next you will find yourself in a wholly unfamiliar situation, blind to dangers hidden by the blizzard. It would be wise for you not to focus on a single landmark while traveling. For you to focus, not given to temptation to deviate from your course. I was not aware you aided House Durandare in that fashion. Thank you, madame. Nevertheless, my decision stands. I cannot give you what you seek. Probably not supposed to be in the water. Screwed something up because the quest guy is up here somewhere. Hope it wasn't the guy at the top. I hate it when they have a quest and you complete it, and he's like, I can't help you. And then they want you to talk to the same person again. I'm like, wait a minute, you just said you couldn't help me. You want me to talk to him again? And that looks almost like what's going to happen here. Unless it's talk to somebody on the upper roof that I was just on. By the... Nope, it was talk to this person over here. He is attempting to attract your attention. Skin. Interesting. And these go with the probably. You there, man. I cannot overhear your conversation with the chief astrologian. There may be a way I can assist you, but it would require that you perform me a favor in exchange. Of course. Associate of mine has not returned from his expedition cliffs to the east of the observatorium. He was adamant that he could conduct his operations alone despite the presence of the Ixal in the vicinity. It would be see how the astrologian confirm that he is well. It would be a great comfort. Parkour. Oh shit, I'm dead. Oh no, you can't. Oh, that's right, you can't fall out of combat from. I forgot about that. I don't think you can die from falling when you're out of combat. So, which means that you can expedite travel by using falling to your advantage. I like that this power, whatever this is called, that it doesn't decay out of combat. So this resource that I gain while in combat is still there from my last combat, so I can actually use it right away, which is kind of cool. Here's the Ixals. What are these guys? Find out. What a relief to see someone other than the gods damned Birdman. I thought I could finish my work whilst Ixal was away, but they returned quicker than I anticipated. It was all I could do to hope. Okay, what? Who are you? You're not one of our knights. Man of House Durandere cannot be seen in the company of an unbeliever. Good day, madame. Oh, okay. What does this do? Delivers an attack with a potency 100. Potency increases up to 370 as own HP nears maximum. I don't understand this ability. I don't understand what it means. Potency increases up to 370 as own HP nears maximum. So I guess when my health is at its highest, it does more damage. I don't really get that ability. There's an attack with a potency of 100. I don't really get that. Now if I go in here, let's try this. Hey, Armet. Happy Saturday. Trying to figure out. Hey, Armet, I was trying to figure out this ability here, the spirits within. It says potency increases up to 370 as own HP nears maximum. Does that mean that if my health is at its maximum, I do more damage? Or like the more health I have, the more damage this ability does? Is that what that means? I'm not really sure. The wording of it's a little odd, but I am level 45. And I'm in this super cool snowy region. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's just a okay. Guess they don't care if I ride my chocobo inside their tower. Would have thought that would have been probably not advisable. They don't care. I did not do my job quest for my armor. Is there one at level 45, right? I just hit 45 last night. The arrogant fool returned not long before you arrived, muttering about disgrace of having been rescued by an unbeliever. That was me. So isn't it right for underestimating the dangers? But you are eager to look at leadership. May surprise you. It may surprise you that by saving him, you have already aided your cause. How Durandare is quick to regard outsiders with suspicion, as their duty to sound the alarm at the first sight of Dravian aggression. Yet you have already aided them twice, for which they are honor bound to repay you. Even so, they will not grant you access to Observatorium's records. That is just as well. For there are other ways you might locate your missing airship. What I propose is that you petition Lord Portelaine for an official introduction to the High Houses. The word of House Durandare carries tremendous weight in Ishgard. Should the captain consent, you would have little trouble obtaining information from the other High Houses. Alright, so, well, let me turn this quest in since I'm really close by. Arr, arr, arr. You've caused quite a stir in the short time you've been here. First, you slayed 2 heretics and saved a knight. Now I hear you've rescued a man of the house. I imagine you must desire something for your troubles. An introduction to the other houses. I cannot deny that you have given us no cause to distrust you. Well, you have performed 2 acts. You would have me endorse you to 3 high houses. It's only fitting that you aid us one final time. It's like freaking Iron Man armor. Great you to find your missing ship. Worry not, for the task should take a woman of your skills but a moment to complete. Yeah, I'll probably do that armor quest pretty soon, Armet. The only reporter bound for Skyfire Logs was ambushed on the road. I would have you travel to the scene of the robbery and bring back his shipment, I guess, whatever you find. Bear in mind that recovering the stolen merchants will endear you to House Halinarte, further improving your chances that they indulge your request for aid. There are dark places that only an adventurer may illume. Sir Carolot is about to point the way to one such place of peril. I've heard much of your doings, and I think you're the woman for this task. To the west is Dismal Darkhold, was meant to serve as a new keep of Lord Zemel, ever a friend to House Durandare. But before the Mason's carpenters could complete the work within the caves, hordes of voidsent appeared and drove them out. In the years since, the creatures have consolidated their presence. As such, we petition your assistance in reclaiming Darkhold. All orders have made. You need only to give your assent. Speak with Ser Orfeli at the ingress if you are with us, and she will tell you what you need to know. Ooh, that sounds like something I need to do. That sounds like something I need to do. I'm sensing another dungeon coming up. I can't move. This is one of the cooler looking structures in the air that I've seen in the game. I really like it. Have you good tidings to share? Okay. It's all here. Oh wait, the chest over there looks like it might have been pillaged. Bloody hell, that's the personal property of Lord Francel too. Are you certain clearing attempt was made to open it, but the lock appears to have held? Nevertheless, if you wish to reserve the contents against your shipping manifest, be my guest. Here you take me a draconian rosary in the possession of Lord Francel. Ooh. Yet perhaps this is not so difficult to fathom. House Halenarte is whispered to be infested with heretics. Thank you for bringing this matter to my attention, miss. I shall inform the Inquisitors immediately. Under these circumstances, I must strongly advise against associating with House Halenarte. Your other introductions will need to be postponed as well. It is the duty of every guardian to root out and destroy heretics. All else must wait until this matter is resolved. Okay. Come closer, lass, and listen well. Lord Francel is no heretic. He is a goodly, righteous man, wholly dedicated to the cause. I know this because I served House Halenarte for years prior to the calamity. You must go to Skyfire Locks and warn him of the coming storm. The Inquisitors are ruthless and will spare him no mercy. Speak to him, Eldois, and he will know you for a friend. Now go. He's not a heretic. We must save him. Really cool flowers. Those are cool flowers. My wife would like those. Yes, you look as though you have something to say, do you? I seek an audience with the bears. While I will go. Is that Elvis in your pocket? I see Carolot. It's not forgotten my mother's favorite flower. Pity has not been seen. In this part of the quest line is setting some things up for 3.0. Oh, okay. Yeah, I have no idea, Armet, like when I'm going to get out of the ARR content. I mean, I assume somewhere around level 50, or is it just that, or am I still going to be doing a ton of quests? I think, wasn't Einbay saying that I was going to be doing a bunch of quests even after level 50? Oh boy, I see Sarah Carolaw. It's not from my mother's favorite flower. Pity it has not been seen in Coerthus since the calamity. You may speak freely here, friend. That's absurd. I would rather die than become a thrall of the dragons. Alas, it matters little what I say at this point. All the draconian rosary. Damn it, I accidentally clicked on it. This will only add weight to the incessant accusations our house has suffered of late. It is as though the gods themselves are plotting our fall. The 2.0 to 2.5 quests are a grind. How many more quests do I have to do before I get into Haven Sword? Is it Heaven Sword? Haven Sword? You risk much by coming here. It is only proper that I recompensate you for this deed. Tell me what you desire. Missing airship, I see. I may require a prolonged effort to locate your quarry. I shall direct you to one in better position. Success to you, Lord. Archifont of House Four Temps commands the garrison at Camp Dragonhead. Perhaps sent this letter to him of introduction. He will surely be receptive to your needs. Okay. There are a lot of things that open up. I don't want the number. Jeez. I mean, I shouldn't complain because it's not like getting to this level so far. What is it? Slash played? I mean, I've done 2 days and 8 hours. So far, this is quicker, much faster leveling than World of Warcraft. To get to level 60 in World of Warcraft usually takes me at least 4 or 5 days. So, to get to 60 in this game probably looks like, I'm guessing it's going to be less time. Maybe not. Maybe it's going to be comparable to World of Warcraft or classic World of Warcraft. Yeah, I don't want to know. Oh God. Wait a second. I gotta get my phone. Be right back. Well, it looks like something just came up, guys. Unfortunately, I was afraid this might happen. I might have to go look at an open house today, which means I might have to log off here. And I was hoping this wouldn't happen, but we're looking at buying a house, and so I'm gonna go AFK just for a minute. But it looks like my streaming today, which is all I wanted to do today, was play a little bit of this game, is going to be completely shot in the foot. So I'll be right back. Okay, good news. I was surprised. My wife just didn't want to go today, so she told me to tell the real estate agent that today will not work. So we have been rescued from the depths of house searching today. We can keep playing Final Fantasy. Yeah, I'm trying to buy a house, and it's so difficult in the market right now. But I'm sick of paying high rent. I mean, I pay like $1,900 a month rent, which is getting to be, and they're raising the rent in Florida like crazy because of, thank you, COVID. Thank you, Biden. Anyways, I was gonna say these. Wait, do you see the Hildebrand stuff? There are a lot of different duties that open at 50. More stuff you can do besides the MSQ. Oh, look, this is the first time I've seen this area in the daytime. But yeah, I was gonna say these snow wolf pups are really cool looking. They're creepy looking. Good music here. I really love this zone. This is the best zone, one of the best zones I've seen so far in the game. It's more open. It feels a little bit more open. And the construction of the buildings are much more medieval, which in fantasy games I love, like kind of, medieval stuff. Let me check my phone real quick. All right. So yeah, I'm digging this this area. Oh, this is probably the dungeon class. Oh, jeez. Welcome to Zimal Darkhold, built to withstand all Dravian ploys and plans. These were natural caves. Yeah, I love much more medieval stuff. I mean, I'm kind of old school. I like Dungeons and Dragons. I grew up playing Dungeons and Dragons as a kid, so I love dragons and old school, like forests and swamps and caves and very medieval looking structures like this. I mean, even this guy's halberd is very traditional. So yeah, I like this a lot. I don't like when you start getting more into like sci-fi and stuff. I don't like that as much. Alas and alack, the void sense struck, interrupting the work. Alas, then in the confusion, Garleans infiltrated the keep. Alack, all in all, it was a fine mess. What is it with him and this alack? Alack and alas. The Garleans were eventually forced into retreat. Now the Garleans are the bad guys, right? Aren't the Garleans kind of like the... I'm still trying to figure this out. The lore in this game is pretty deep. The Garlean Empire. There's the Aesians, a secret society determined to resurrect the dark deity Zodiark by influencing world events to their design. La Habrea, which we've talked about in our story, is the first of the unsundered encounter, possessing the body of Thancred for a while. What? Okay, I probably shouldn't be reading this. It's going to be some spoilers. The Guardians are eventually forced into retreat, of course. But the void sent remain, and so the fortress goes uncompleted, a home for abominations woe as well. Yet the war with the dragon rages, and we have no knights to spare for this noble mission. Even I have much purpose paperwork should you require aid of that sort. Dismal, Darkhold, now accessible. Whoa. Hey, Armet, did you see my new glamour? So my new glamour, what I like about this glamour, I really love this shirt. And I think you gave me this, Armet. This is like some sort of like survival shirt. I know, I had to stop reading, dude. It was like, there was weird stuff going on. The survival shirt, it's really cool because with this shirt, you get this dagger here. And look at this ring. I even like added this ring to my glamour. Yeah, I think you gave me this shirt. This shirt's awesome. And this shirt comes with these two little leather pouches, which are really cool. And even like a little, I don't know if this is supposed to be a blanket or maybe a parchment. I don't know. I'm not sure. And then you get another leather pouch here. And then you got even like this kind of leather, the pouches are held by a leather strap, obviously, or belt that I'm wearing. But I also love this little ring that I was able to add to my glamour. This is like the Ring of Ulda. Very cool. And then I believe these sleeves here, my hands are coming from the Cloud set, the Strife set, I believe. I think these are the Strife. And then the leggings are just random leggings that I thought looked halfway decent. They're kind of gothy, or I don't know. They're just leather with spikes. And then of course I tossed on these kind of interesting goggles. Yeah, glamour is the true end game. Any game that has gear that looks really good that allows you to transmog or glamour is always going to be like, is always going to be a big deal, you know? Well, that didn't take long. All right, here we go. Another party I've never been, another dungeon I've never been to before. Woo. Stand in the purple light for this, for the purple light. Stand in the purple light. What does it do by standing in the... So do I stand in this blue area? Where the hell's that guy going? Oh shit. Oh shit. So I want to stand here. Oh no, I died. Okay. That was weird. Oh no. So I'm supposed to stand in the blue light. So the blue, okay, so... I don't understand standing in the blue light. I don't get this part. Yeah, I don't get this part, guys. I really don't. Oh, so this light right here, right? Here's the blue light, right? So we stand in this. I don't know why that cat keeps running. Why does he keep just flying around like that? Weird. That's kind of weird. He's just kind of, he's like a drive-by eyeball. What are these blue circles? What is the blue circle? Okay, well, I'm not supposed to stand in the blue circle. I guess I don't stand on the blue circle? I don't know why they don't communicate any of this. Well, let's get in the blue light. Blue light we know is good, right? Oh, Jesus Christ. And by the time I thought there that I need to get back to the blue light, it was too late. I'm like, oh, I gotta get back to the blue light, and then the eyeball had flown back, and so that was just me not paying attention. Just me not. I mean, this is the first. And you walked in to get my butt whooped, is what you walked into. I guess you can't have went and got that armor before this. Oh, really? Why are they getting in this blue thing? What does this do? So this protects us? He's like invincible. Can we kill this guy? Can we even kill this guy? No. Into the purple light, right? Where's the next purple light is what I'm wondering. Now where do we go? Okay, here we go. Ah, I just wish this guy would die. Now where to? Oh. Finally, that guy was a pain in the butt. Hey, RJ. There was a 111-minute stream yesterday. What was it, like one that didn't shut down properly or something? I don't know if there was. Oh, 11-minute stream? I don't know, RJ. It was probably when I started and couldn't stream for some reason, maybe. Jesus. Come on. What? I'm outside the range. Why am I getting killed? Why am I getting killed there? I'm not inside the telegraph range. It's just, well, I don't know what's killing me there. Like they do a telegraph on the ground. I'm outside of it, so why am I dying? That's what I want to know. But I was outside the telegraph. If you go back and look at the stream, you can see the last two deaths I had. Both times I was clearly outside the telegraph. Oh. I'm not watching the animations. I'm watching the telegraph, dude. No. Now I don't even know where I am in the dungeon. Well, you can clearly go back and watch the stream. You can see I was clearly outside the telegraph in both instances, and I died both times. So You know, I don't know what to say on that. I'm gonna go back and watch it. I don't really know what to say there. Like I said, I was clearly outside the telegraph both times. So either the servers, either there's a delay. I don't know. And you can see I'm clearly outside, right? Wow. Well, if I'm outside the telegraph when the ability goes off and I'm getting hit, that's not a common issue of new players having to adjust. That's a common issue of their shit doesn't work. You know what I mean? That's the issue. Yeah, I mean, I'm going the wrong way apparently. Yeah, you know. But I'm definitely gonna go back and watch it. As soon as I get out of this dungeon, we're gonna go back and watch it and see. Maybe I was wrong, but I'm 99.9% sure that I was out of the telegraphs in both those cases where I died. You know, maybe something else hit me. Where are we going? I mean, is there like somewhere to go? They keep spawning these mobs in like really weird positions. Yeah, I don't know if it was the telegraph or what. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure it out. You know, I don't like not knowing what happened. It's like I don't care if I die, but I need to know why I died. That's the thing, you know. Why is this one not on me? No, I'll go back and look at it because I'm kind of pissed off about that. I'm not sure what to do about these other mobs. And this music's annoying as fuck too. Yeah, it looks like I'm just ignoring the ads because I don't really see that they're doing a whole lot of damage. They're doing some damage though. They're there to keep the healer. Is that what that's for? Kind of wonder if I should get the skeletons here, you know? We're having so many problems with just basic packs that I'm a little bit not wanting to get like huge groups, you know? How did... Okay, well, we got these. 10 stuff from random album Duskwood. Nice, RJ. More backspace is always a premium, and wow, it's one thing you don't have to worry about in Final Fantasy that much. They give you so much inventory right off the bat. Damn. Going with your bad self. What's this beam, light purple beam mean? What does this mean? I have no idea what this means. Are we supposed to kill this thing? Kill the crystals when the tether... Okay, I gotcha. I figured that's what it was, but I wasn't sure. I don't know why I took... There must be some sort of a tank buster or something. I don't know why I took so much damage there. Okay, I'm thinking I probably need to somehow avoid damage on that. I don't know. He just hits really hard? Is that what it is? Yeah, and I have no, like... way here. All my mitigations are on cooldown at this point. Yeah. Am I supposed to move him out of the void pitch, you think? Am I supposed to move him out of the void pitch? Ah, wrong key. What does DRG mean? What does DRG mean? It would help the DRG? You mean just the other DPSers? When you say DRG, do you mean the damage range or damage dealers? Dragoon, the melee? Gotcha. Yeah, that was terrible. Yeah. I think the one thing that's confusing is, but now we can go back and look because I'm pissed off. Okay, let's take a look here. See what we see. Okay, you can see my HP's, about 35%. Where I died. Let's take a look. So I'm gonna die up here pretty soon. It could be the rocks, because I know that the telegraph I think was on the rocks here, and I jumped down. So I wonder if the telegraph didn't handle the terrain correctly. Let's take a look. Now, right there, I got knocked to 165 health. So that's just, I don't know. He just crushed me. So with some sort of massive amount of damage right there. So I'm at almost full health. He bites me, and I take a ton of health damage from just his bite. Now the other mobs are just doing a lot of damage to me. At this point, the healer is just not. I do have. So this is my fault. I have 3 defensive cooldowns. This is one of the problems I have with this game. Is it's very difficult to track the damage that's incoming. Like I can't look down at my health bar down here. I need better indicators of where my health's at. I have at this point in time. I'm sure in this fight, I had no idea my health was that low. No idea. There's no audio alert. There's no like in WoW. I've got one of the reasons in WoW I have mixed scrolling battle text is I have it set up so that an audio alert triggers when my health drops below 55%. The other thing is in WoW, a lot of times you'll have the red, kind of the screen will kind of flash red. I don't really pay attention to that at all. Usually it's the health indicator, the audio alert. But at this point in time, I probably have no idea that I'm this low on health. No idea. So you can tell I have no idea because I've got 3 defensive cooldowns here, right? 3. Now this one only this is the long arm whatever reduces the speed. This is just pure defense. I think it's 20% damage reduction. I believe this one is 30% damage reduction. If I couple these together, I'm gonna get like 44% I think damage reduction. So at this point in time, what I probably should have done was popped Q and my this ability here and this ability and tandem these together, but I don't. Right? I take another frog bite right in my face, which knocks me down to 137. And it looks like the healer, I might have popped a potion there, I can't tell, but the healer healed me. Either that or my potion I popped. Take another bite in my face. I don't take quite as much damage. At this point in time, I have popped my defensive. So at some point in time, I saw my health. Popped this defensive cooldown, right? So I popped both of them. So I did, right at that point, you can see I've already popped both of my defensive cooldowns. So right now, I'm taking 44% less damage. Now you see the telegraph. So what happens is it looks like I run out of the range of the telegraph, but I think what it is, and here's what you guys were talking about. I think I was in the telegraph, and then the telegraph disappeared. So here's the difference. This is what I'm, like you said, as a new Final Fantasy player, I don't understand the mechanic. Because like to me, it looks like I'm outside it, but what happens is the telegraph disappears. And when the telegraph disappears, if you're still in it, I think it hits you. And I think that's what happened here, which that's me not understanding how the mechanics work in Final Fantasy, right? I didn't understand that. So if you watch it here, watch. First off, I chose the wrong direction. Okay, and that's not me understanding how much time I have to move out of a telegraph because I haven't played the game long enough. So I don't understand that. Hey, I don't probably have a lot of time, so moving this way, the way I move is a longer distance. I should have gone straight to my left here, right? Which I don't. I start moving this way, I think, because in general, I've had enough time to get away from telegraphs. But this telegraph has a little bit of a bigger radius than a lot of the ones I've dealt with. But watch there. The telegraph is disappearing now, and I'm still in it. Telegraph's gone. So the reason I thought I was out was because in real time when I'm out and I haven't taken any damage yet. So I'm assuming that I have to be in it visually when it goes off for me to take damage, but it looks like that is not the case. Boom. It goes off here. I'm nowhere near any telegraphs, and I'm dead. Okay. So this is exactly... So what happened was I had no idea how it worked. So I didn't know how it worked. And because of me not understanding how it worked, I thought I was out, you know? So, but now I understand. The other thing is I haven't played a lot of Final Fantasy, obviously, so I don't know the timing. Like I don't really have that internal clock built up yet to say, hey, you've only got so much time. You can't go that direction, you know? So, but yeah, the biggest thing is I just didn't understand that's how it works. So to me, it looked like I was out because it disappeared and I'm not in it. I was thinking I had to be in the visual indicator when it went off, because that's the way most MMOs work. All MMOs I've played that have telegraphs, you have to be visually inside the area when it goes off. So this is the only MMO I've ever played where the telegraph disappears and then literally like, I mean, it was like, what, 2 full seconds? Maybe even 3 full seconds before it triggered. So it's like, I'm out of it. I don't even see the telegraph anymore. I'm standing there doing nothing. All of a sudden, boom, I'm dead. So you can understand that a new player coming into something like that, it's, you know, it's pretty surprising. You're like, what the fuck, you know? And that's what happened there. I got all mad because I'm like, what the hell happened, you know? Yeah. 3 seconds to sit there and wait for your death sentence, basically. But yeah, you can see there, Armet. That was just me not understanding the mechanics of how Final Fantasy works. Of course, now I understand it. Not really happy with it. I think it's kind of a weird system, to be honest, because most MMOs, you played WildStar, you play World of Warcraft. Trying to think of some other ones that do it, like Guild Wars 2. You know, you have to be in the visual indicator to take the damage. And, you know, this game's it's like, sorry, it's gone. You were in it. You're fucked. It's like driving. It's like driving at night, and you drive through a red light, and the camera takes a picture of you. And then you get a letter in the mail saying, hey, you know what? You drove through this light. You owe us $50. That's what it's like. Oh, I'm sorry, you didn't make it out. 3 seconds later, you're dead. It's just a weird system, and I certainly did not expect it to work that way. So, but I wanted to go back and look at it because, like I said, the only thing that will make me mad in a game is if I'm dying and I don't understand why I'm dying. You know, that'll piss me off every time. Not attuned to the Aetherite. It's just weird. It's a very unusual mechanic. I don't know why they went that way, because it's not really what most MMOs do. So it's very strange. Because it makes you feel safe. You're like, oh, I don't see the telegraph on the ground anymore, and yet I'm still alive. You know, you're standing there, you're alive, the telegraph's gone, and then boom, and you drop dead. It's like, what just happened? I bet every person who plays Final Fantasy goes through that first initial, you know, WTF moment when that happens, because like I said, it doesn't work that way in other games. I'm not attuned. Really, I'm not attuned to this. I hate it when I hate it when I like walk through a city 10 times and I don't bother to get myself attuned. How can you use it to your advantage? I don't know how you could use it to your advantage. You're either out of it in time or not. I don't really understand how it could ever be like used to your advantage. But I'm sure you're going to spread some. Once it's gone, you can move back. Once it's gone, you can move back. Back, what is that? I don't know what that next word is. Back into the animation. I don't understand what you're saying. Are you saying there's a... Are you saying if this bush here is a telegraph, right? Like, let's say this bush here is a... Like, these 3 bushes, make a circle around these. Are you saying if this is a telegraphed area and I'm running out, and I don't get out, like I don't get out in time, and then the circle disappears. If I have that 3 seconds and I run back in here, into the area, you're saying I won't take damage? If that's the case, that's just fucking weird. It's just weird. If that's the case, that is weird. That is a very weird mechanic if that's the case. It's like, what moron? What person over at, what's the company that makes this game? What person over there thought that was, whatever people call it, Squeenix. Squeenix is like, yeah, let's come up with this. Now you can move back in after the target's gone? What do you mean, though, you can move back in? So after the target's gone, you can move back in, sure, but... Yeah, but but did you see what I said, Armet? If I'm in, let's say this bush is the telegraph. This is the telegraph. If I don't make it out, right? I'm moving out and the telegraph disappears. I have 3 seconds before it's going to hit me with its damage. Are you saying in that 3 second window, if I move back into where the telegraph was, that I'll take no damage? Yeah, exactly. So I don't see how that's an advantage that you can run back. I don't see that as an advantage. So I got out on time. It disappears. So basically what you're saying is it gave me 3 seconds more time to move back to re-engage the boss. I guess you can look at that as an advantage. I don't look at that as an advantage, though. I look at that as a broken mechanic. Yeah. I don't see that as an advantage, though. To me, I see that as a broken mechanic. I think it should work like every other MMO. And if you're standing in it, if you're standing in the visual indicator, when time expires, you take damage. If you're standing out of the visual indicator, when time expires, you don't. I don't know why they would change it to this way. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So I'm not trying to be a jerk, but I'm just saying it doesn't. To me, it doesn't make sense. I don't really think that. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, they're giving you 3 seconds a head start to move back to. I understand what you're saying. They're giving you a 3 second head start to get back. Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, Armet. I think Einbay is more correct. I don't believe that they were thinking we're going to give you 3 seconds so you can gauge the boss faster. I don't. 99.9% sure that's not what they were thinking. More than likely, they were probably doing what Einbay was saying. If we make it disappear, we'll have less players griping about the fact that on their screen, they're still seeing it when it goes off. Think about that, right? If you're going back to 2011 when this game came out, or whatever is 2013 when they redid 2.0, and you're talking about consoles, the internet wasn't as good. They're worried about latency. Sometimes latency, you see it all in FPS games, where you'll shoot at somebody, and your cursor's on them when you shoot, but you don't hit them, because the latency was such that it hadn't redrawn their physical character, 1 frame over, to where you didn't actually shoot. Same thing here. I would agree with Einbay there that probably the way it was designed was to prevent players griping and complaining about, oh, I was out of it, Since it disappears ahead of time, you can't really complain about it because you can't see you know what I mean? You're probably going to see that you're out of it. And you can't really say, well, I was, there's no way to really complain at that point, the way the mechanic is. But yeah, that was really frustrating to see me die a couple times and not. It looked like I was out, but I wasn't out. Oh yeah, no, it's good, Armin. I'm not arguing with you. I think it's an odd way to go about it, but but if they were trying to combat latency, I could see why they did it that way. And what Armet is saying is that you have a little bit of a head start to move back, is because if you did get out, there's a few seconds. There's no sense waiting for it. You might as well just move back, right? Yeah. I have fallen. Oh, you say how I've fallen to Final Fantasy? Yeah. Yes, Morpheus. Yes, we are playing Final Fantasy. We must really be desperate. Tell you what, I'll play World of Warcraft when all the the assets that are playing stop boosting and stop looking for ways to abuse mechanics to navigate the waters of the game. You know, the worst part about playing MMOs in today's era is that the players of today are looking to min max. They're looking to abuse mechanics. They're looking for any cheat, any like way they can to advance and to get gear and stuff faster without actually having to play the game the way it was meant to be played. That's my biggest beef with MMOs in today's world. You know, I've gotten to the point now where I'm almost ready to quit playing MMOs just because the gamers of today are just a bunch of little babies. They're a bunch of little crybabies. You know, they want everything and they want it now. It's a bunch of millennials like, you know, crying. You know what I mean? Instead of playing the games the way they were designed to be played, meaning you actually play the game and have fun, you know, as opposed to saying, well, instead of leveling from 1 to 60 in classic WoW, I'm just going to pay a level maxed out character a bunch of gold, and I'm just going to sit there in these dungeons and do nothing while he runs through and clears everything, and I'm just going to get XP for it, right? And so I'm going to go from 1 to 60 and never having to even swing my weapon, you know? Yeah. Yeah, it's just, you know. Well, here's the problem, Einbay. The problem with World of Warcraft is to fix the boosting culture that exists in classic World of Warcraft and Burning Crusade is so easy. I mean, you could fix the boosts with one easy fix. Every dungeon in World of Warcraft has a level range, right? Like, so if I'm level 10 and I try to go into like stockades, it won't let me. I'm too low in level, right? Well, yeah, I'm too low. But if I'm level 60 and I want to go into stockades, you know, stockades they say is like a level range of like maybe, you know, 20, 22 to maybe 30 or something. But if I'm level 60, it'll let me go in, right? It'll let me go in. Well, why is that? If I'm too low, I can't get in, but if I'm level 60, I can. Now, so the easy way to fix it is to not allow a level 60 or a player to not allow a player to go into the dungeon who's outside the level range plus, meaning over the level of the max. Like if the max level of the dungeon is 30, if you're level 31 or higher, you cannot go into that dungeon with someone else who is within the level range. Now, if you choose to go into that dungeon by yourself, as a level 60, and you go in by yourself, that's fine. If someone's farming a specific piece of gear, maybe they want to farm something and then mail it to one of their alts, I don't have a problem with that. But to go in there as a level 60 character, and if there's anybody else in the party that's within the level range, or less, really, because you couldn't get in there if you were less than the level range. So basically, anyone who's less than the max level, then you will not be allowed to go in. The level 60 will be denied. And it's a super easy way to fix. You just do that, and boosting's gone. Boosting is no more. You know, at least as far as dungeon boosting, it would be gone. You know, and all those players can cry, all those babies, and all those Zoomers can cry and to their mama, right? And they'll try to find some other way. They'll try to find some other way to cheat the system. But nobody really plays. Nobody plays Classic. Well, most people don't. You know, I do. Like, if you go watch my streams on Classic WoW, I level up the old-fashioned way. I do it with hard work, you know? So, and that's one of the reasons why I quit playing WoW, is because there's just people, they don't play the game the way it was meant to be played, you know? It's not, you know, it's kind of pathetic, really. Yeah, the Classic WoW community is terrible. That's the other thing that's wrong with World of Warcraft, is the community in WoW is really bad. And it's only getting worse, you know? You know, it's really bad. The problem is WoW is actually a really good game. You know, classic WoW is really good, and Burning Crusade WoW, but because of the way people play, you can't really get together a group of people that are, I can't anyway, get a group of people that are like-minded the way I want to play, you know, that are really into just enjoying the game for what it is, as an MMO, as a fantasy game, you know, and really enjoying progressing their characters naturally, you know, getting groups, doing dungeons within the level range, and doing quests, and taking your time. It's all a race. You know, with the MMO players of today, it's always like, get to max level as fast as you can. And then once you're there, you know, do whatever you need to do to get the best gear, and then run around and flex your EP and be like, look at me, I'm the greatest. That's what it's like for most players, you know? Yeah, there's no community. That's one of the reasons why I'm really excited for Pantheon Rise of the Fallen, because Pantheon Rise of the Fallen, it's all about the community. It's all about, you can't just solo through content. You have to work together. You need to, and it's not just the Holy Trinity; it's the Holy Quadrinity. When you and your groups can be up to 6 people instead of 5. So when you go into a dungeon, you're going to have like somebody who's going to handle like CC responsibility. Someone's going to be a healer. Someone's going to be a tank, and someone's going to be a DPS. And everybody has to perform their roles, or you're not going to succeed. It's very group based. Use a multi-box 5 characters, rushed everything, all runs, constant scripts to scalp the auction house. Yeah, yeah, I totally agree with you. I mean, you're playing the game that way. I knew a guy who dual boxed, and he would run around with 5 characters, and he had dual boxing software, and same thing. It was all scripted. He even did macros in Classic, where he had one button macros. I'm not even kidding. He would go into dungeons with a macro, and he just pressed one button. That's all he did, because he wrote very complicated scripts that would always check and heal the person with the lowest health. He had and all this kind of stuff, and he literally could just he healed dungeons by hitting one button. And I'm like, wow, that sounds exciting. Why would you even do that? I mean, he could do it. I watched him do it. The guy was really good at writing scripts. And I'm like, I don't know why you would want to do that. I mean, because it just reduces, like you said, it takes the soul out of the game. You know? It's all about the big numbers. And that's the funny part, Armed, is that's not me. I mean, I like big numbers just like the next guy. But if you watch the streams on my channel, you'll see most of it's not about that. It's about it's about having fun. It's about having fun. I actually enjoy support roles. I like healing. I like playing like bards and stuff that help heal while help doing DPS. I like that. To me, that's fun. Until he logged on with his 5 characters. Until he logged on with his 5 characters, and you're like, screw that. Yeah, they would create Einbei, they would always create it was always the 5 elemental shamans. You'd go into like a battleground, and some jackass would come in with 5 elemental shamans, and they would all cast chain lightning at the exact same time. When you get hit with 5 chain lightnings at the exact same time, you are dead. There is nothing you can do. You are a goner. I don't think so, Armet. I mean, I don't know. I really don't. I mean, I think I've met people that like to play the game the way I like to play, but not very many. Most people aren't. Most people are too into having the best gear, like best in slot gear. Most people are, like you said, they're either in the big numbers. It's hard to find, but I mean, they're out there, Armet. They're out there. I just don't think a lot of them are playing World of Warcraft. You know what I mean? Well, it was all about speed. There's a ton of players that want to play the game the way I like to play, and it doesn't take hard. It's not hard to find them, right? All you got to do is go to my friend Minus's YouTube channel here for Pantheon Plus. Now these guys are all covering Pantheon Rise of the Fallen, right, on his channel. All these guys that come here, all these Pantheon Plus profiles is basically, what's his name? Not Theric. I can't remember this guy. This guy here on the right. He's interviewing people, and they're just saying what class they plan to play on Pantheon. But all these people that he's interviewing that want to play Pantheon Rise of the Fallen, all of them are old school MMO players. And a lot of them are like me. They grew up, a lot of them are older, because I'm 51 years old. I'm not like a kid, right? A lot of them are, grew up in the age like I did, where we played Dungeons and Dragons and we progressed into MMOs. And that's the best players, I think, because in Dungeons and Dragons, you have to work kind of as a party. That's the whole point. You're role-playing. And a lot of it was based on your Dungeon Master. You had to have a good Dungeon Master to make it realistic, because you could have a Dungeon Master, and you could be pay to win in Dungeons and Dragons, right? You maybe give the DM some extra cash on the side, or maybe throw him a couple extra M&Ms or something. Maybe you get that last piece of pizza, you give it to him. Make sure that he tosses some extra magic at you in the final fight. That's pay to win in D&D, right? But yeah, I mean, when you play Dungeons and Dragons, it was all about the fun of interacting and role-playing your characters with your friends. And when that progressed into MMOs, that's the way we wanted to play MMOs. That's the way us as Dungeons and Dragons players wanted to play. We wanted to take MMOs as a natural extension of Dungeons and Dragons. The only difference is now we have a visual thing to look at. We can see our character. We can actually physically swing a weapon and see it swing on the computer. Where when we're playing the game, the role, just the role playing game, Dungeons and Dragons, we don't have that. So we just wanted the visual aid, and we wanted some visual graphical things and additional stuff added. But you still should want to play the game. We did. We wanted to play the game the way we were playing it. We just wanted the additional aid of visuals and sound because it would make the game more fun. But that's all been lost. That's all gone now. MMOs are no longer at all like what we wanted them to be back in the 80s, right? That's all gone and changed. It's all about these e-painters wanting to blow up numbers, and like when Asmondeus says, big dick. If I play Final Fantasy, I gotta have, there's gotta be. I'll play any class that has a big two-hand, big dick weapon. That's literally what Asmongold said. I mean, which is one of the reasons why the guy's a douchebag, right? I can't stand the guy, but because it's all about the big numbers. He just wants to go and swing a big axe and see stuff die, which is fine. But you should want to play as a community. You should want to enjoy the game, enjoy the lore. I mean, that's the way these games were meant to be originally, Yeah, I mean, so those people are dying out. I'm 51 years old, so the people that played back when I played and came from Dungeons and Dragons, and there's still people today. You can grow up today and be a Dungeons and Dragons player and want to come into and play MMOs. I mean, D&D is almost more popular today than it was back in the 80s. But it's really it's a paradigm shift. It's just we need companies out there to make games that are more like. I mean, there just needs to be more niche type games. You can't create MMOs. You can't create one MMO that's going to make everybody happy. And like World of Warcraft was the MMO that a lot of people played because in the beginning it was really good, but then as it went along, people kept saying, "Well, I want this or I want that," and then in Blizzard started catering to those players, and Blizzard started thinking more about money. When they originally made World of Warcraft, it was the original goals for World of Warcraft. They said, if we get 100,000 active subscribers on World of Warcraft, to us it's a success. We think that is a success, right? They weren't thinking it was going to be turned into what it was. Once it turned into this massive machine and they were making all this money, Blizzard, the owning company, the people who owned, I mean not Blizzard, but I mean Activision, who kind of mostly owned Blizzard, who was the publisher, they saw all that money and they got greedy. And they started thinking, well, how can we make more money? And because Activision was breathing down their necks to get expansions out, just like Battlefield or whatever that other FPS game they create, and get Call of Duty, just keep getting those releases on a set schedule every year, push out a new release. They didn't care about the quality that much. They just get the release out every year, get those people in, get them paying money, and they're driving WoW right into the ground, But yeah, I think Asmon. I don't think Asmongold's going to have a whole lot of fun playing Final Fantasy. I really don't, Well, the thing is what Armet's saying is you're like, are there that many players? Yeah, 9.1 has a date. Yeah, and he's talked about that, Armet. He talked about 9.1. Plus, he also wants to play. He also mentioned that he wants to play. And the only reason I've been paying attention to it, because I don't normally watch any of his shit, to be honest. But just the last couple of weeks, I've been paying attention because I'm curious when he's going to play Final Fantasy. Because I want to see him struggle, because I don't think he'll like it. But he said that because 9.1's out, he also wants to play Amazon, New World. So he's going to try to somehow fit in Final Fantasy in between him playing Burning Crusade, playing 9.1 retail, and then possibly, remember, in August, New World comes out in August. So honestly, if he wants to play Final Fantasy, he should be playing it right now. If he wants to get the time in to play it, Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's all time gated. Like they'll go through all the stuff as fast as they can, but it's they have all the time gated content, which is just stupid. People will kill themselves, or they'll come up with any way they can to complete the content as fast as possible. I don't understand. I don't even understand the mentality of the Zoomer players. Like, I don't even get it. Let's run through the content in a week, and then we have nothing to do. Then you don't even have anything to do now. Now you're just doing your stupid like dailies and your stupid gated content. It's stupid. It's like it's dumb. It's like the people who get a new game and speed run it. I'm gonna speed clear this game in 12 hours. Well, you're bypassing all the content the developer created for you to go through, right? Yeah, I don't understand, but I'll never understand some of today's players. I really won't. I'm just like, whatever, Um, to me, the number one thing when playing a video game is to have fun. The number one thing is to have fun. So I like to play the game in the way that makes me have fun, and that in the way that doesn't always align with most other people's way that they like to play the game. It really doesn't, Getting free stuff from others in WoW. Yeah, he does. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The retail WoW does. Yep. Yeah, yeah. What they want to do is they want because it's easy for them. If you look at it this way, when Blizzard comes out with expansions, right? Creating all the quests and creating all the content for the quests, you know, it's very time consuming. It's a lot easier for them just to create really basic, boring quests, which is what they do, and let you fly through all that stuff to end game, and then to work on the raids and make the raids difficult because it takes player longer to progress through the raids, and then to put the raids on lockout. Well, you can only do this raid once a week. You can only do these dailies once a day. You can only do these faction things. You know what I mean? They put everything on because that's how they know they can prevent players from getting through it, and that gives them time to develop the next patch, right? So, what they're missing. Here's the big key. Here's what they're missing. This is how they fail. The biggest problem with World of Warcraft and with most MMOs today is they're too easy. There's no challenge, right? The only challenge a lot of times is in the hard mode raids, right? So they focus on the hard mode raids. The reason and then they put in the time gated content so they can give themselves developers time to come up with new content. All you have to do is create the game, make the game about 100 times harder. Make the leveling experience extremely slow. Make quests, make monsters difficult. Don't give players all this magical gear, right? Maybe give you like a new upgrade once every, you know, maybe you play the game for a week and you get maybe one or two upgrades, right? And make that the norm. That's the norm. And let's say that the content is so difficult that like just basic quests, like let's say you're level 5 and you go to a village and the village says, "Oh man, we've been getting attacked by these orc raiders like and we don't know when they're going to come back." And you may try to get together and stop the orc raiders, but they kick your butt. You may get together with 2 or 3 other players that are of your level. Guess what? They still kick your butt, right? Then you may get together maybe a few more. Maybe you get a group of like 6, and then maybe you can clear it. But make it difficult such that you are forced to work with other players to accomplish those goals, right? And then still don't give the players much loot, right? Give them some money. Maybe give them like a a finely crafted iron sword over their rusty iron sword. Make the content difficult. Don't make it time gated. Make it hard. Make like just regular quests and monsters in the world kill the player. Make the play, and when you die, you lose experience. When you die, you lose experience. When you die, you lose gear. Or maybe you swing your sword. When you die, your sword broke. You know what I mean? Put things in the game that make it hard, and make it take a lot longer to go from level 1 to level 60. Then the developers don't have to worry about trying to create all this content because it's much more difficult just to move through regular content, just regular world. The world itself is dangerous. Not your stupid quests, not your stupid raids. The world is dangerous, right? That's the way it should be. When I played Dungeon as a kid, my Dungeon Master was a bitch. Shit was hard. I was more likely to get my arm chopped off than to get some magical weapon. You know what I'm saying? And if you can progress through that hard content and somehow come out on top, guess what? You're going to love it that much more. You're going to enjoy it. You're going to love it. Wow, I made it. And then the people that do make it, the people that do actually get some decent gear, how much do you think they're going to revel in that? How much do you think they're going to be proud of what they've accomplished? Other than these stupid asshats. And MMOs today just run to max level and run in dungeons and run around. Look at my gear. Oh, that's great. You've got this best in slot gear. Guess what? There's 10 or 20 people standing right over there that have the same shit. But you're so much better than them. I really don't give a shit. I don't care about you. You know? It would suck making retail WoW class. It's so boring. No, I never played Final Fantasy XI. Well, that's the thing, Armet. And so a lot of the older MMOs had that. Yeah. And that's perfect though. See, Armet, that's brilliant. I would have loved Final Fantasy XI if I played it when it came out, but I didn't. My friend at work did. He actually played it. It does exist in some MMOs. Armet, there's MMOs out there where I mean, you can still play. You can still play EverQuest 2. You can still play EverQuest 1. They all have that. Pantheon Rise of the Fallen will have XP. I'm pretty sure it's going to have XP loss on death. It's going to be very difficult to solo, and it's going to take a while to hit level cap. I don't think it'll take 2 years to hit level cap. I wish it would. Um, I played Lineage 2, and the absolute fastest, the first person to hit max level in Lineage 2 after it came out took 6 months. 6 months. And that was the fastest person. It took the average person like a year. The average player took about a year to hit max level. You know. Yeah. Well, that's the thing too. Like in Lineage 2, it was awesome. Like remember, like I don't know if you guys ever played MMOs where there was straight up fear. Like you were afraid to go into a new area. Like Ree's talking about. You'd like see like a dungeon and you'd walk in there and you'd look around a corner and there'd be 3 mobs. You were scared shitless. You're like, I'm not gonna go in there. Yeah, it'd be like a bear even. You'd be like, I'm not gonna attack that bear. He's gonna tear me a new one. You know? Do you have that fear in World of Warcraft? Hell no. You know? Do I have that fear in Final Fantasy? Not really. So, yeah. You know what's funny, Ree, is like when I was playing the first time I played Skyrim, and it was like a blizzard. I was walking up through these mountains. One of the things I love to do in MMOs is or in any kind of RPGs, I love to explore the world. I love, especially if the game will let me go to what I see. And in Skyrim, you can. You see the mountains and stuff in the distance. You can always usually walk up to it. That was 11 too. 6-player groups, 5 minutes to kill one mob. Yeah, I would have liked that. Armet, I would have liked that. Actually, there's a game called the guy who made, Brad McQuaid. He worked on EverQuest. He made a game after EverQuest that I can't remember the name of it. But it was like that sometimes. Like we had a blast playing that. I don't know if I have that. I think I've got it on my channel. What was it? See, Vanguard. That was it. Here, let me show you this, guys. See if I can find this. It's pretty cool. I don't know if I have the stream where I was with a group. Look at this. Yeah, now we're talking. Now, Vanguard, I can't remember. Vanguard was probably around 2000. It was probably around 2011 or 2012. I'm playing kind of like a melee fighter. Look at that spinning back kick. That was pretty cool. I don't think I have it in this one, though. Yeah, I don't think I do. No, these are just me selling. But I did one stream where I played with Minus, yeah, Vanguard from Pantheon Plus, and it was us. It was me and like we had a group of like 5, and we took like on a boss, and it took like like 15 minutes to take down the boss. It was pretty cool, and it was tough too. Like I don't know if we had any. I think we had a few deaths where people died, but you would die and you would just run back because the bosses they were just like open world bosses. So you'd die, you'd resurrect, you'd run back and just keep fighting. Yeah, and you only had 3 days. Yeah. Well, that's the argument too, Armet. Armet, that's funny. Is one of the biggest arguments is people are like, well, people don't have time to play MMOs anymore, and I'm like, okay, you may say that you don't have time because just like what Armet's saying, you played when you were in college, but are there not college kids today? Are there not high school kids today? People, what's the difference? People still have time to play these games. It's just a question of whether you're going to make them. Yeah, WoW came out and WoW was an attempt. Basically, WoW they said, okay, we like EverQuest, but it's too grindy. They said we want to make a MMO that's more accessible to the masses. We want to make a more casual MMO. That was the goal. World of Warcraft, the original version, was supposed to be a more casual version of EverQuest that was more fun, that was more user friendly. And that's why it's really funny that after WoW was out for like 10 or 15 years, that when people started talking about classic WoW, especially the people who never played it originally, they're like, oh man, classic WoW was so grindy. And I'm like, no, it wasn't. If you think classic WoW was grindy, you have no idea what grindy is. Go level up in Lineage 1 or Lineage 2 or EverQuest 1. That's grindy. Classic WoW is a cakewalk. Yeah, there's still games out there. There's lots of games out there that'll still have. And actually, Ion Classic, guys, Ion Classic's coming out, and Ion's super grindy, right? So if you look at Ion, it should be out pretty soon. I can't remember.
We're going to be streaming this naturally because if we didn't, then we wouldn't really be much of an MMO channel. So we're going to be.
So Ion Classic's coming on June 23rd. So we're only 4 days away. If you want to play a grindy MMO, Ion Classic will be grindy. Like it takes, I don't know, it'll probably take you like, I mean, it's not super grindy, but what's really grindy in Ion Classic actually is the professions. The professions are really grindy. You could spend like days just leveling up some of your professions, where all you did for days is just doing professions. But I mean, probably get max level in Ion. You're talking maybe, I don't know, maybe a month or something of just playing like hardcore, like really, maybe longer. I don't know. I remember I played for 2 or 3 weeks and I was probably like level 40 or something. But it's a pretty grindy game.
Streaming this over on Twitch. Hope.
But Ion's actually really fun. So this enterprise you speak of was last seen above Carithus, but yeah, Ion. I think they want you to pay for it, which kind of stinks. That was one thing that kind of surprised me a little bit. Is I think Ion's doing a subscription. I will play it because Ion was one of my favorite MMOs. I really liked it. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed Ion, but it's gonna feel pretty dated because the combat in Ion was pretty cool, but based on today's stuff, it'll probably feel a little dated. I think if you're gonna go into Ion, if you've never played it, Ree, I don't know how to pronounce your name, Rym. I'm just gonna say Ree. If you've never played Ion, I think it's worth playing. You can play it right now, like you can play Ion right now for free, right? There's a free version of Ion, but it's nothing like Classic. It's completely like dumbed down and simplified, and they've noobified it. It's not. It's easy. It's not. I mean, you'll level the max level in a couple hours probably, and I'm not even kidding, right? Yeah. I understand that, Armet. Let me hold on one second. Yeah, but I understand where you're coming from. Sorry, I had to hide my screen for a second. Oh, what? I don't have it installed. Oh, I don't have it installed. I used to have Ion installed, but you can actually go into NCSoft right and play Ion right now for free. It's completely free. Now, wait. Oh, Ion Classic. Oh, they're gonna let's install Ion Classic. Oh, nice. Oh, sweet. So I can go ahead and install Ion Classic today. But yeah, you can't play the Ion for free, but it's not going to be that great. So yeah, I saw Palia. Palia's like Palia's made by some of the guys that worked on Blizzard.
Is an upcoming MMORPG.
Oh God, let's not watch Kira TV. I can't stand that guy. Here's Palia. Beautiful graphics. I love the stylized world. But Palia's not going to have much combat to it. Palia's more of like a housing, like crafting game, really. Okay, the focus the focus of Palia is a kind of casual, game where you can do like crafting and housing and it's a game like what Armet's talking about, where you could just log in a couple hours a day and play and have fun. It's not gonna have a ton of combat or anything like that. I don't think it has, as far as I know, I don't think it has any dungeons or anything like that. You can see here it's a community simulation where all the players can not only build a home but also life. So you can meet up and befriend a large list of characters and experience an ever evolving narrative with other players. So it's not really, it's not going to be like combat or anything like that. Yeah, no, Armet, you're right. Another big problem is that it's not as much a passion anymore. People aren't like, oh, I want to create this really fun, great, amazing game. Now there is an MMO in the future that's coming. I don't think we'll ever. I don't know if we'll ever see MMOs. We're never going to see a major AAA studio MMO that's going to be like the MMO I would want to play, because the audience for that MMO just doesn't exist. The audience is too small. The amount of people that want to play MMOs the way I want to play them is a smaller segment, right? The bigger segment of the people that are just, these Zoomers or these like, millennials who don't even seem to understand what really makes a game fun. They really don't. Or they just don't want to put any effort out. They just want to like min-max everything. Those are the bigger audience. And the average age of the MMOs is around 25, 26 years old. So that's been done in studies, and there's different questionnaires they've put out to come up with that data. But those are the average age, and that's what they're targeting. They're targeting that audience. So not centered on combat. Yeah. This one really isn't centered around combat. It looks so much like EverQuest Next, the art style. So farming, building, housing. So yeah, we got Palia, but in the meantime, please enjoy the hospitality of. Okay, so let's get past this dialogue. Yeah, but isn't Core Punk isometric? Isn't Core Punk isometric?
So it's about that time. These Sims, mini games, all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, see, it's isometric. Sorry, I can't play isometric games. Yeah, you can't. To me, you can't. There's no immersion in an isometric game. Like if I can't do this with the camera, if I can't like rotate the camera up above me and look around and do all of this, or like swing a sword while I'm moving and see kind of like have this kind of view, then I probably don't really want to play the game. It's just I can't do that isometric view. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah, I think Armet's 100% correct. Everything I've read about Final Fantasy XIV, everything I've read shows that the devs have a passion for the game. The most fun I've had in any game. Well, I mean, my favorite game of all time is Unreal Tournament, but outside of that, I would say World of Warcraft was probably the most fun I had when it originally came out. I mean, as far as like MMOs, when WoW first came out, I really had fun in World of Warcraft. When it first came out. Yeah, if you can't jump, that's torture. I agree with that, Iron Bay. I've played MMOs where you can't jump, and like Guild Wars 1, In Guild Wars 1, you cannot jump. What's another MMO where you can't jump? There's a couple of them that have been like that. And boy, that just drives me nuts. You know? But yeah, World of Warcraft, when I first played it, was amazing. But you gotta remember, that was only the second or third MMO at the time I'd ever played. I was coming from Lineage 2 where you couldn't jump, you know? And, you know? Yeah, the most fun I ever had was Unreal Tournament. Like, when I played Unreal Tournament competitively in clans, and, you know, that was the most fun. It was exhilarating. I mean, getting an Unreal Tournament and just the way I played and killing people and dominating games and, you know, being the person who could just step into a server and completely change the outlook of any match almost because I was that good was just, it was just so much fun, you know, and people would look up to you and that people would, I had a clan that was created that was basically like followers. They would follow me and they would they were like my followers, you know, it was kind of like Asmongold. How Asmongold has his followers. I had that in Unreal Tournament. I had people that would literally follow my character around. They would even create names that were based off of my character's name, you know, and so it's pretty weird, but it was fun, you know. You jump like 5 times a second. I don't know if I jump 5 times a second, but definitely you should be able to jump. You know, you should definitely be able to jump. You hear me in reverse. But the other games, this is why you're called why I'm called caffeine injected. I'm called caffeine injected because I drink a lot of caffeine, and I've been addicted to Coca-Cola since I was about probably 12 years old. You know, but it wasn't a name. Like I wasn't trying to be some kind of big streamer or anything when I created my YouTube channel. It was just I created a YouTube channel. I needed a name, and I was like, well, you know, I've always got caffeine in me, so let's just call myself caffeine injected. But as far as like for MMOs, because you were cracked in Unreal Tournament. No, an Unreal Tournament, like, let's see. Uh, okay, Unreal Tournament. These are screenshots from Unreal Tournament from years and years and years ago, right? Why is it? Hold on a second. You can see here, I called myself Angst at one point. In Unreal Tournament, it was the blessing of anonymity. People would change their names all the time. You could change your name every match. So like here, you can see I completely dominated this match, 103 kills. Next closest was like what 54. You know, cranial assault. You know, 125 kills. You know, 160 kills. You know, pretty much dominated most of the matches I played in. Pain. 100. Just look at this match, right? So this is Capture the Flag. Everybody is around 50, 60 kills, and then you see me 131. Yeah, Unreal Tournament's Epic Games, of course. Yeah. Unreal Tournament's Epic Games. The Unreal Engine was created originally for Unreal Tournament. You know? And there was an Unreal Level Editor. I used to go in and create levels in the Unreal Level Editor. And, you know, here's one where I was like, this is when I first was trying to learn Instagib, so I was still skilling up in Instagib. Oh, here's a screenshot of some of the old servers. This one here, Extreme, Petron Face. Some of the old servers I used to play on not too long ago. This is probably, you know, 2001 maybe. Sexy Mandy. With all names, Gem 163. You know. Here's a good one. Sugar Honey Glow. That's a good one. I would just go with all kinds of stupid names. You know. Is that it? Tournament. Here's some from 2003 Unreal Tournament. I didn't play 2003 that much. Here's where I did a one-on-one match, just 1v1. That was 2003. This is 1999. So that's 2003, 2003, 2003. These are all 2003 Unreal Tournament screenshots. You know. Unbeliever. This guy was good. This is when I like this Own Gravity. Yeah, you can see he was in the match only 17 minutes. I was going to say this guy was better than me. This Gravity guy, he was one hell of a good player. I don't know if I have. There's one particular match that I'm very proud of. I don't see it. I love that one. Ooh, wow, look at this one. Here, this guy here. This guy was one of the best players I ever played with. This match here has two of the best players in the Unreal Tournament I ever played with, Blind Fury and Fury. These guys were so good. I mean, like, they were just amazingly good. And here we go. Here's another one. We've got Blind Fury, Gravity Fury. This is when I first started playing with these guys. One of the reasons I got so good is I played with this group of people because they were so good. Gravity Fury and Blind Fury is probably one of the best flag runners I ever saw. Gravity, when he was hot, was just unstoppable, and Fury also was unstoppable, pretty much. Oh, here I beat Blind Fury in a match. But look at the ping rates. That's because it was my server. If we were playing on an even ping, I'm sure he probably would have won. But still, even beating him with a better ping is quite an accomplishment. Yeah, lots of old school Unreal Tournament. Yeah, well, they have an Unreal Tournament, like they have the 2007 version or something. You know. Anyways, I'm getting bored of Final Fantasy for today. Where am I at? Let's see where I'm at. I'm level 45. I need to do the quest that RT's talking about, though. We need to do... the armor quest. Yeah, I stopped playing. I stopped playing FPS games in 2002-ish and started playing MMOs primarily. And then when my friend who was a professional Counter-Strike player tried to get me to go back and play. He tried to go back and get me to play FPS, but I'd been out of FPS for about 2 or 3 years at that point, and so it was very difficult at that time to go back because, when you're really, really good at something and you try to go back and you're not as good, it sucks. It just sucks. I was so good and so dominant in the game for a couple years to step away for 3 years and then to come back and go in and get my ass handed to me is very humbling. And I knew that would happen because you can't not play FPS for 3 years and come back. Your aim won't be there. And I just didn't want to take the time it would take to get back. It would have taken me 6 months of hardcore playing to really build my aim back up and my reflexes to get them back to where they were. Jenlin wishes to assign you the most daunting trial yet. Welcome, friend. I have important news for you. I'm in search. We're still looking for the traitor. I've been looking through old records and discovered something chilling. Around the time that Solgzagle was named captain, several famed soldiers of the Sultan Sworn met with untimely deaths, but strangely our records do not say how they died. Curious, I begged the favor of an old friend and received permission to inspect medical records kept by Frondelli's Frontistery. I discovered the soldiers died in various ways, some in combat, some slowly at night in the barracks, but in nearly every case there were signs of poison. Yes, poison, carefully and visibly administered. The more I read, the more I saw the dark hand, death's embrace at work. Assassins in the pay and service of the monetarists. A society so secretive that few believe it really exists. But no matter how skilled the devious assassins, we should not have been able to kill so many of the Sultan Sword elite without being discovered. Not that is, with the help from someone within our own ranks. So I asked myself, who would have the most gain from the deaths? One by one, the former captain, his trusted aides, the most capable of the Sultan Sworn, who might have become future commanders, all of them slain by an invisible hand. And with their deaths, the way was open for Solgzagle. That is a hard name to pronounce. Solgzagle. Become the Sultan Sworn's youngest captain in a century. The Montrous were planning to kill the best and the bravest of the Sultan Sworn to purge his ranks of greatness and enervate so that it could no longer carry its duties and serve as a sword and shield of the Sultanate. Which begs the question, how does Solzagol remain captain for 30 long years? How did he avoid the poisoner's kiss when men better than him had succumbed? There can only be one explanation. He was the monetarist Caspal, the turncloak in our midst. Needless to say, I'm more determined to track him down than ever before. While I continue my investigation, I have a trial for you. I want you to seek the gallant armor, legendary raiments worn by generations of the finest soldiers of Sultan Sworn. In accordance with the Sultan Sworn tradition, the set that would be yours has been scattered across southern Thanalan. Each piece has been locked within a coffer, which will be guarded by 2 men. You must best the Sultan Sworn themselves if you already claimed the armor. Damn! Lots more reading. Damn, how can I not be attuned to these places? Oh. Oh, man. How can I not be attuned? I thought I was just at... wasn't I just here? Wasn't I just at Carathis? Could have sworn I got tuned at one of these places. Guess not. Well, it looks like I'm in for a long ride. Unless I want to go to Nasea. And maybe I can get to the mainland. That's probably my best bet. Did I not click the crystal? Oh, and I think in Armet, I think I specifically remember I was talking to you guys and I was like, oh man, I ran by the crystal like 10 times and I didn't click it, and then I still didn't click it. Man. Where am I? Is there an easy way to get? You're saying go to North Shroud? Again with this fucking map. You're right. North Shroud's better. You're right. I can't believe I didn't click the crystal. Yeah, but the one thing that talking about, Re specifically, I mean, the one thing that talking about, MMOs and the way they are now and the way that they used to be and kind of how I would like to play them, it's very depressing. I mean, it's actually quite depressing now. There are lots of MMOs coming out, and this year is probably the most active year we've seen for MMOs in a long time. With Swords of Legends Online, with Alien Online, with Final Fantasy's new expansion coming out. We've got New World from Amazon Studios coming out. And there's a couple others. But even saying that, all those games none of them are really like great games. They're not bad games, but they're not like great games. I can't believe I didn't hit that. Jeez. Jeez Louise. I love this zone, though. This zone's really cool. This zone's cool. The music out here is better too. I've experienced a lot more good music today than I did yesterday, and that's because these zones I've been in have better music. All these quests, so many quests. No, it's actually right here, isn't it? That's that, though. I'm doing it again where I'm clicking the main story quest, but what I want to go after is, I think this one, right? No, where is it? Oh, this one. This is the one we want. See, I'm clicking the wrong stuff again. All right, well, at least we flagged that point, so. Yeah, I keep doing that, Armin. Every time I grab a class quest, a job quest, whatever, then I start clicking on the main story quest because I'm so used to just doing main story quests over and over and over. I mean, I've done hundreds of these main story quests. Is that what they talk about the slog? Yeah. All right, well, I'm going to take a break. I need to use the bathroom and get something to eat. And I don't know if I'm going to come back and play Final Fantasy again today. I'm not sure. I'm a little bit burned out on all these slogging quests, to be honest. I'm still pissed off about that dungeon I ran through and died on. That still left a bad taste in my mouth. Although it was, me just not understanding how the mechanics worked. But I'm still pissed off about that. But I may finally jump back in and work on my warrior. I don't really know at this point. I haven't decided. Not sure if I'm going to... I'll probably come back and play Final Fantasy, but I just need a little break to get something to eat. I think playing Final Fantasy is more... I mean, to me, so far, playing Final Fantasy has been more fun than playing World of Warcraft. But it's not because WoW isn't a fun game. It's more because this is fresher. The story is good. It's a little bit slow. Like you said, we're slogging through all these quests, and it starts to beat you down because it's just like quest after quest after quest, story quests. And it's, you kind of want to get to a point where you're released from that obligation of having to go through the story quest. And you feel like there's a little bit more freedom just to explore the world. Maybe, go out there and see what the world has to offer. I think one of the mechanics I like in MMOs, which you don't see in a lot of MMOs, is just the ability to just freeform it. Just go out in the world and see what you can find. Guild Wars 2 does a good job of that because you can just kind of walk from zone to zone and people will actually talk to you and say, hey, do you want to help me do this or help me do that? Or there's just like little areas that once you go into, it just automatically opens up quests and stuff. And says, hey, you can do this, you can do that. And so that's another thing I think people do. Like Armet's saying, you could try leveling a different job. But I really want to slog through these quests and hopefully get to the next, 3.0, I guess, content? I really want to get to max level, which is 80. So we still have, man, we still have 35 levels to go. So that's a little bit of a ways to go. But yeah, I want, like Skyrim is one of those games where it's really cool that you can just kind of go out in the world and explore, and you can progress. You know, with whatever abilities you use, you progress with. I always like that particular system. You know, it's like if I use a specific skill, I should get better at it over time. And I think that's something that you do see that in some games in MMOs, but it's pretty rare actually to see that. You don't see that a lot, where where your skill basically like WoW does it, but at a very very low level, where you just have like a skill, like a sword skill, and the more you use your sword, but it's also based on what level you are. It's a pretty silly system that probably doesn't even need to be there in World of Warcraft. Like weapon skill, it's kind of stupid. It's like really kind of more annoying than anything else. But there are games out there, and I can't think of any off the top of my head right now other than just Skyrim. I guess EverQuest, or not EverQuest. I'm sorry. Elder Scrolls Online, I think also to some degree does that, but I think using abilities over and over again should actually make you better with those abilities. Like if you were a mage and you were casting a fireball and you cast fireballs all the time, just your fireballs naturally over time should start to become more powerful. I mean, if you're drawing your energy from the elements, right? Like if I'm casting fireball or frost or water or air, my usage of that is drawing, you would think, power from the elements of the planet, right? Pulling from Gaia at that point, right? And you would think that my ability to manipulate the natural elemental energy of the planet would get stronger and better over time. So to me, that just seems like a natural thing. But most MMOs don't really work that way, which is sad. Most MMOs are like, you got to level such and such, so automatically, like when I hit a certain level. Now this game is a little bit better because you do have to do a quest to learn something, but it's kind of dumb because in the quest you don't really do anything in the quest that really taught. It's not like it said, I want you to go here, and in that quest there was some sort of objective that required you to use your shield to block something, and maybe because you did that, you learned how to shield block, or maybe there was a requirement for you to use a certain ability in such a way that you hadn't really used before, and because you did, you successfully completed it. You gained that ability to use that weapon, that particular ability all the time. But there's all kinds of mechanics like that you could put into MMOs, but most MMOs don't really do that. They're just lazy as shit, and you're like, oh, you hit level 12, and then all of a sudden this skill just magically appears in your bar, or you talk to somebody and they just say, hey, you wanted to learn how to use shield block. Oh, here you go. And it's not like you actually practiced it or anything. It's just you said, okay, learn it, and then they charge you some money and you magically know a skill. So, which is fine for, that's the way a lot of the MMOs work, but I think it'd be better to add a lot more RP elements into that. So, anyways, I'm going to take a little break. Oh, yeah, I haven't done the gold saucer. That feels like I don't remember even how to get there, And that's not really my thing, Armet. To me, systems like the gold saucer, I mean, if you have fun with it, it's okay, but I went there and I played the basketball shoot game, and I did the sledgehammer. I played the card game, but I had no idea what I was doing. I mean, I had no idea how to play the game. But that's not something, because to me, I like fantasy-based MMOs that are very medieval, like I said. So I like them to be, I like them to be immersive. And to be immersive, there wouldn't be shooting basketballs in a fucking fantasy. You know what I mean? That's not immersive. That's silly. But a lot of people like that stuff. A lot of people like mini games inside of MMOs, but I've never been one of those people. Like a lot of times survival games almost have more mechanics that I enjoy. The problem is survival games are just that. They're based on survival. They're not based on the character like evolution that much. And they usually are very time-based, meaning like the survival game usually has a start and an end, and they're usually more single players. There are some multiplayer survival games, but those usually turn into gank fests where people just grief each other, like Lost Ark. Is it Lost Ark? And it's just, that's not good either. You know what I mean? No one has really successfully created an MMO that's extremely immersive, that has a lot of survival elements in it, but has your traditional MMO elements in it. No one's really ever successfully created a game like that. I've never seen one. And that's something that I think hopefully one day we'll see, one like that. I just don't know when, We're also going to get down the road where we're going to start having VR MMOs, and I don't know when that's going to happen, but I know there's a couple in China that are in development where they're working on a VR, and which I think could also, I mean, you start talking about like the movie Ready Player One, where, eventually video games are going to be like that. Also, Epic Games is also working on their multiverse thing. I don't think it's called multiverse. I think it's called something else. But there's a couple companies that are working on that, and that's a virtual reality world where you can go in, and it's kind of like a Ready Player One, where you're going to be able to go into this virtual reality world, and it's going to have all kinds of stuff in it. It might have like a store where you can shop and buy clothes and try clothes on. It might have tons of video games that you can go in and maybe go skiing or go race a car or go play a dungeon crawler. And that's something that they're working on. And the big thing that they're really working on, the big thing that they're really working on is what Epic Games trying to do is trying to make games completely cross-platform. So they want their games to be able to be played on all devices, and they want to get rid of that limitation of saying this is just a mobile game, or this is just a console game, or this is a Mac game, or this is a Windows game. They want to break through and just create games that will run on every platform, so that basically more people can be playing them at the same time, and that's something they're working on too. So Epic Games is going to be making a lot of pretty interesting breakthroughs, just simply because Fortnite has made them so much money. It's given them a lot more power to do so, and they were making money already. If you go to Google and take a look at this game is made with Unreal Engine, right? It's a big list. So these are just these are games that are made with the Unreal Engine. So it's a very big list, and so it's not like Epic Games isn't making money. Most of these games that are console are going to have to pay them a fee. So it's a big list. So, but coming out with Fortnite, just push their pocketbooks up a lot higher. Anyways, I'll catch you guys later. Take a little break, get something to eat. Hope you guys are having a great Saturday. Peace out.